just like all the random technology that I'm not going to be
Oh, I
using.
know.
All right. So let me just double check. It is. If you are watching from the group, hey, I'm going to double check that it's actually working because imagine if, luckily, this whole thing is being recorded. Okay. So it is working. We are on. Thanks so much, guys, for coming to the first episode of Real Estate Coffee Talk. My husband said I should call it Real Estate Coffee Club, but I like Real Estate Coffee Talk. So we're going to go. Sorry, my face is so close up. A couple of things just for the first episode. This is the first time we're doing this one. I've done a lot of obviously live streams through Zoom. If you've been on that, you've seen that can go off the rails quickly. But this is a whole new platform. So if there are some issues, just have grace with me. I'll try to figure it out as fast as I can. Then second of all, if you have comments or questions as we're going throughout the chat here, go ahead and ask them. I'll try to, I will get them all at the end. Your name will probably pop up in this screen. Unless you give StreamYard permissions, it's just going to pop up as anonymous. So you can either give them the permission or I can go ahead and you can be anonymous as long as you don't care. I don't care. As long as we get the question answered, it's fine. And then, and if you are watching live right now, just type in the comments where you're from for two reasons. One, it's really interesting to find out where everyone's from in the group. Two, it helps this post kind of get to the top so more people can see it. More people can find out how to close deals on TikTok. All right. So let's go. We're going to get started really quickly. This is Kim. You know what, Kim? You say your name because I don't want to butcher it. And I meant to ask you that before.
I think it'd be more fun if you tried and we can go from there.
Okay. So I said Kim Drekulich.
There you go. Dracula.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
But yep, there you go.
There we go. I got it. Okay. Woo. Thank God. Okay. So this is Kim Drekulich. She actually works in Concord, which is a suburb of Charlotte, but she also sells in Charlotte. More widely known to us in the Charlotte market and across TikTok as Kim Sells Concord. She's probably the coolest mom amongst her teenage daughter's friends because she's TikTok famous. And then let me go through a little bit about her bio. So she's known as Kim Sells Concord TikTok, and she actually is on Instagram Reels. She's a licensed realtor here in Cabarrus County, which is a suburb of Charlotte. And then during kind of the pandemic, she hopped on the TikTok train, as a lot of us did. The difference was that Kim was consistent with it, as I was not, right? So she has one thing once Kim started coming across my feed, I just noticed that she really used humor to message her real estate skills in a different way. And that really attracted people, but people that wanted to work with her and that appreciated that type of humor. Today, she is generating a ton of leads and closing. So I think she doubled her business just based off of TikTok, which is free to use. It costs her nothing but her time. So today she's going to share with us a little bit about how she started, how she grew her business, and how you can do that as well. So welcome, Kim Drekulich. And since none of you are on audio, just put your little clap emojis in the comments and we will get started. Kim, tell us just a little bit about yourself, like personally, and what you got going on.
Well, you pretty much did that, but yes, I mean, I'm a wife and a mom first. I have 2 teenage daughters, so that's fun. That's fun. Besides, I have a motto, and obviously that comes across on TikTok. It's if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. So that's how I live my life. Obviously, we are still professionals at the end of the day, but you got to sprinkle in that humor. Outside of real estate, I'm all about sports and music. You can find me, on the weekends in my backyard with a fire and some football going or the music going, things like that. I'm a homebody at the end of the day.
I noticed on so I'm not woman enough to camp, but your stuff makes it look so fun. I'm like, maybe one of these days I will go out into nature.
It took my husband a lot of convincing. He grew up with an RV. He's from Arizona. So, they saw a lot of cool stuff, but I do enjoy it. It's nice.
You make it look fun for sure.
No,
so let's get into a little bit. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. I love that you have made Tito's kind of a part of your brand, right? Where's your bottle, girl? I love it. I love that now, and I'm not the only one because I've seen people comment on your posts or just in general. Now
Mm,
it's become so it's your shtick, right? But it's become so much a part of your brand
yeah.
that they see Tito's and they think Kim Draculich, which is really awesome.
Wild.
Yes, and it's really awesome for staying top of mind. So tell me quickly, like, were you afraid at first to, because I know it's not the norm, right? So were you afraid to like look unprofessional at first, or kind of what made you do that and get into it?
Yeah, I wasn't really afraid only because when I started on TikTok, I was not thinking real estate at first.
Yeah.
I was just having fun pandemic type, I was just posting random things. So it did feel good to, just be myself because I didn't think anybody that I knew was watching.
Yeah.
Um, but so it never bothered me. But when I transitioned into real estate videos and I kept the humorous side, I I didn't get any pushback or anything. And the pushback I was getting was from other agents.
Right,
So
right.
who cares about them? Sorry. Um, so it felt good. It feels good to just throw
Right.
it all out there.
Right. And I love it because things like that, they really attract a certain kind of people. And those end up like I know with my thing, it was Bustelo coffee, right?
Mhm.
So certain type of coffee. Now I've had so many people being like, oh, I saw Bustelo and thought of you, or they'll send me pictures in the supermarket. And
Yeah.
it's crazy because those people end up, they appreciate so much, and those that becomes the easiest business. I talk
Yep.
about that all the time. So I love that. So let's go back. So how long have you kind of been in real estate? And before TikTok, like where was your main business, your main source of business, I should say?
Okay. So this is going to be a little long, but I think I feel like some agents out there may resonate with this. So bear with me.
Go for it.
Um, I've actually been in the industry for 10 years, which is wild to say. But I started out as an unlicensed administrative marketing assistant,
Okay.
and that just landed in my lap. Um, we sold our first house in 2013, and our agent was starting to get busy. She just randomly said to me one day, like, "Man, you seem like you're good on Facebook, and you seem organized. Like, would you like to be my assistant?" I was like, "What?" Like, it was just so out of nowhere. It was perfect timing because then my girls were just now full school,
School.
right? Before
Yeah.
then, I was stay-at-home mom slash karaoke host at night. So
I
it was
love
perfect.
that. Yeah.
Did that for a bit. And then in 2015, I decided, like, you know what? I need to be out there. So I left the team and was on my own, but I was with a brokerage that relied very much on scripts, cold calling, things like that. And I understand the term, you have to be uncomfortable to grow, et cetera. But I think there's a difference between uncomfortable and cringy. Like,
Absolutely.
I couldn't do it. So quite honestly, it took me 3 years. I did not take real estate very seriously in 3 years. I was blessed. My husband had a really good paying job.
Right.
I just kind of did deals through Facebook, if I knew somebody that wanted to buy or sell a house. I mean, I did okay, but it wasn't until 2018 where I went all in on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook. I don't know if you have seen any of my hashtags, the What the Wednesday
Yes.
hashtags with the houses.
Right.
That started in 2018, believe it or not.
No way. Oh my.
I posted a picture for those listening that don't know, I don't do it every Wednesday anymore, but I did used to do it consistently every Wednesday, find a weird house for sale, something weird about the house. I posted one and someone commented, "Oh my God, you should do this every Wednesday or every week."
Yeah, yeah.
It happened to be a Wednesday, and it took off, and people started sending me pictures, and I'm
Yes,
like,
I sent you stuff myself. I think I sent you a whole article like, "You should use this for your What
"Yes,
the
I don't
Wednesdays."
even have to look for them anymore."
Yes.
So that's when it clicked, like, "Oh my gosh, I can remind people what I do for a living without the whole, who do you know who wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate today? You know, because that's what I was doing. Oh my God, I was doing that.
Right.
And it just felt weird. So been in the business 10 years, but for the past 5 years, totally social media. Before TikTok, it was all pretty much, you know, most of my business was Facebook.
So pretty much free lead gen. All
Mhm.
it's
Oh, yeah.
taking really is just time
Yes.
and a little bit of creativity from you.
Yes.
I love it. Okay. So, well, I've kind of heard like TikTok, maybe a lot of young people or people who tend to be unqualified and not serious in general. What are you finding? Because you're actually converting these leads. So obviously they can buy. What are
Yes.
you finding? Is that true? Is that an urban legend? Like, what are you?
That was true back in 2020
Yeah.
and maybe 2021. So I actually pulled up one of my videos, the analytics, that did pretty well. Not one of my best performing ones, but it got about 9,000 views. And I know you're not gonna be able to see it, but I just want to let you know I have it. It's here. It gives you age demographic.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us.
Only 1% of those 9,000 were between the ages of 18 and 24.
Oh my gosh. I would have never.
66% were the age between 35 and 54.
So
66%.
like that millennials and a little bit above, but home buying age, home buying and selling
And
age.
selling. That's a sweet spot.
Yes.
So, you know, I mean, can you think that if you're not consistent on TikTok or if you're not on it enough? Yes, because there are plenty of teens and stuff dancing around still on TikTok. Absolutely. But I don't see them because TikTok knows what I want to see and I don't want to see that. So
Yes.
no,
Oh my gosh.
it's one of my myth busters. When I teach a TikTok class, that's the first thing I said. Get that out of your head.
Yeah, because I've noticed I don't post on TikTok hardly ever, but I do consume a lot of
Mhm.
TikTok, right? But
Mhm.
I've noticed it really did like 2020, yeah, like you said, beginning of 2021 was very much like all the little dances
Yep.
and it's become like I see a lot of business stuff, a lot of like business coaching, like a lot of serious, more
Mhm.
serious stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Somehow my algorithm also shows me a lot of like, because my son's graduating from high school this year, and it's like it knows, so it keeps showing me these sappy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I go on TikTok to cry. This is terrible. But I love that because the more people that are interested in the stuff that you're talking about, the more you are coming across their feed. So it's really
Correct.
that really good brand awareness. And I don't know if you've noticed this, right? But I guess I focus more on, like you said, Facebook and Instagram for a while.
Mhm.
Have you noticed that that the deals you're getting and the leads you're getting are people who have never even commented on your videos or that you didn't even know were engaging?
Yep.
Yeah,
Most of them. They
most.
will send me a message and say, "Hey, Kim, I've been following you for a year and we're ready to buy a house." That's like, like, okay, who are you?
It's
Wild. Yeah.
Isn't it wild?
It's
Yes,
wild.
I had someone from Facebook when I was doing my stuff like harder when the videos on Facebook before TikTok. And I remember someone was like, "Oh, they went to a builder and like we saw a model and we put your name as our realtor." And normally you have to like beg, borrow, and steal,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Don't go to the builder.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's how, and literally then we went that weekend, they went under contract like easy. And I find, and I'm sure you can agree with me, these people are so easy to work with because they already know your personality. And if they're attracted to your personality,
Yep.
it's like and you're usually, you guys usually mesh really well.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's the easiest transaction
It is.
as far
It's
as
working smarter, not harder. Like, I don't have to interview
right.
anyone.
Yes, and you don't have to kind of like make sure you're calling at the right time or texting the
Mhm.
right thing because you've kind of already got them in your net. That's what
Correct.
I really
Yeah.
love about it. So, tell me this. What kind of like well, I guess we've talked about conversion because you don't really have to do much to convert them, right?
No, and I do wanna just touch on that real quickly because I get asked all the time, like, "Well, how many leads,
Mhm.
how many leads do you get on TikTok?" Like, I don't know. I have 21,000 followers. Every
Wow.
single one of them is a lead. It might be an agent referral, it might they're all leads because
Yeah,
they're not reaching out until they're ready. That's the
exactly.
beauty of it. So, I mean, I've had a couple occasions where they have reached out, they're not ready yet or whatever. So obviously I keep up with them, but 90+% of the time, they're not reaching out until they're ready. So, it's hard to say how many leads I've gotten from Facebook or TikTok because it's
Right.
leads. By the time they come to me, they're a client. They're a
Yes. So they literally go from like 21,000 prospects to their client.
client. Mhm.
So there really is not much of a conversion built in there other than let's just hope they get pre-qualified or whatever. It's just they
Yeah.
convert themselves.
Now, I will throw a little pro tip out there. I have occasional when I see someone that has followed me,
Yeah.
I can't do it all the time because sometimes, the notifications get kind of overwhelming, but there have been times where people have followed me that they weren't a realtor. And I'll look at their page to see if perhaps I can figure out if they're local or not.
Mhm.
And there have been times where just based on what they're posting and whatnot, I know they're in my area.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, this is someone I need to stay on top of. So I will put their names in my, CRM, their TikTok
Yeah.
leads. I guess those are leads.
Yeah.
And I make sure I'm looking at their page every so often and liking their stuff or, commenting or something like that.
Because probably the more you engage with them also, the more now they start seeing you.
Correct.
That's what I love about when you kind of know the way the algorithm works, especially
Mhm.
TikTok. I feel like TikTok's algorithm is so much easier. It makes so much more sense. Like
Yeah.
I'll like I forgot some kind of there's this random like financial planner guy, but he's young and
Mhm.
he's made his TikTok business out of like basically screaming at people for their financial decisions. And
I love
it's almost like he's like the Judge Judy of personal finance. And
it. Nice.
he's rude, but he's giving them good advice. And
Yeah.
I don't know, something about me like this. So I engage and I don't even think I commented. I liked one or I probably watched the whole video. And now I'm sure I've seen everything in
Mhm.
this guy's video because you go down a rabbit hole, right?
Right.
And so that's what I really love about the TikTok algorithm. So let me
It's
ask you this.
smart.
What kind of content do you feel like is really working as far as getting you this business? Like, do you find
Yeah.
one works more than the other?
I am starting to find that now I don't post everything I post on TikTok on Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
I I don't know why I don't. I just don't. I don't I
Yeah.
just don't. Um, but there are a lot of videos on TikTok of me just talking in my car. Real estate stuff, right? Just, a lot of people say I don't have time to make videos, blah, blah, blah. I could be about to go into the grocery store or I'm waiting on my buyer to go look at a house and I will film a quick TikTok of information, like an educational video, whether it's, pre-listing inspections or whatever. Those are doing well with my potential buyers and sellers that are out there.
Yes.
The humorous ones that I do, the ones that I'm like kind of, I guess known for, the ones I will put on Facebook and Instagram, those do well in the realtor community.
Yeah.
Therefore, referrals, things like that. Now, when I talk about my business has doubled, I've made a lot of money referral business, sending business out.
Yes. That was my next
So,
question to you, actually, because
oh, sorry.
no, it's just as you talk, I'm thinking of stuff because, well, two things. One, I've told people, even just with my own experience, is that the humorous ones attract a lot of people and get people watching, but
Yeah,
the educational ones convert. And
correct.
so people, because not everyone has the personality where they want to be humorous and all that.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Right.
You got to be who you are.
Well,
But
yes, don't try to do a funny video if that's just not your personality.
right. You
Yeah.
got to be you. And listen, I live in the South, but I'm not a traditional, I don't sound like a traditional Southern person or
Mhm.
whatever. So my niche has been New Yorkers moving here or New Yorkers that are here, right? So my content attracts those people easily.
Yeah.
But you got to be who you are because
Mhm.
that's how when you build that genuine relationship with someone.
Right.
But I think it's counterintuitive because people do think as like this is a entertainment platform.
Mhm.
And sometimes that entertainment really is their education. I mean, those are the ones that convert. The
Yeah.
actual buyers and sellers the best, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
in their experience too. So, and then referrals. So tell us more about like, how does that happen? Is it the same thing? They just reach out to you because they've been following you and they're like, hey, I just happen to know
Mhm.
somebody.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Cause I will do a video once in a while just to remind people like, hey, even if you're not in my area, I call it my clone list. Like I've got clones of me, you know, if
Yeah.
you would want to work with me, I'm sure I've got somebody in your area.
Oh my
So, and
gosh.
I do. I've got I'm up to about 200 or so agents from TikTok that I know that I have in my database. I'm sure you would agree. Like when you have someone and you need to find an agent, going on those national Facebook groups,
Worst.
it is right. You get like 600 comments. You get the pay to play fan club. You get it's awful. Like I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to do that anymore.
And you don't have to go through the mad rush. Like over the spring, I was actually on a cruise and I had a friend reach out to me that she was moving to DC.
Mhm.
So you're all, if you don't have these people already in a list, then you're in a mad rush to
Mad rush.
make
Yep.
it look casual, right? Like, oh, I have a friend out there.
I've got somebody.
I got you. And in that one, I was in such a rush. I found a guy that he sounded good or whatever, and it turned out it was a disaster. And
Oh,
800,000 referral, he dropped the ball on it.
wow.
So you really gotta. It's so good. I think that's a great point for agents to kind of grab a hold of those people and
Yeah.
kind of pregame it and have this list of people before they even get the referral. So
Yes.
that's
And
actually genius.
with that, if you wind up being very, very active on TikTok, most likely you're going to come across a couple, you know, social media coaches strictly for realtors and this and that. And there's one in particular. I love her to death, but I don't agree with what she says about don't do videos that realtors are going to like. Like
I agree.
why not? Like, you know, I get her point. We also have to do videos geared towards buyers and sellers and make sure they understand we know what we're talking about, you know, all of that jazz. But at the end of the day, the realtor community, if nobody takes anything else out of today, the realtor community on TikTok, once you land yourself on real estate TikTok, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I feel like I know these people. Um, and we all support each other. God forbid one of us gets a troll comment, you know, we're all
Yeah,
we're coming after him.
well, listen, I had my first video do like exceptionally well on Instagram compared to all my other ones, and I felt like I literally felt like you. I used it. Someone
Mhm.
told this guy goes, or I don't know, guy or girl. I basically had a V-neck white T-shirt, like from Target, like one of those
Okay.
$5 T-shirts, and it
Mhm.
was old, but I didn't even know. So when I record these videos, I usually do a couple at a time. So
Oh, yeah.
I
Absolutely.
must have posted like 3 in a row with this same like stretched out white t-shirt, and someone was like, "Are you in an abusive relationship? Because it looks like someone's been pulling on your shirt."
I saw the video. I think it was a reply or something. I
Yes.
saw that.
I replied to it. I was like, man, I was like, all right, well, I'm finally getting to like Kim Draculich level because now I'm getting insults. So I take that as a compliment. But
Yep.
I agree with you. I think you're leaving money on the table by not having other realtors follow you because it allows you to scale your business, first of all, and
Yeah.
then to also kind of it fills those slow times because instead of now your market just being this Charlotte area,
Mhm.
you're nationwide, right? So
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Right, I love that. So as the market has changed, I would say in the last year, right, since interest rates have changed, maybe a little
Mhm.
bit over a year, has your strategy or what you're doing on TikTok changed to kind of handle that or deal with that, or not really?
Um, yes and no.
Okay.
Um, I have been concentrating most of my videos now do talk about first time home buyers, which some will say like, "Girl, you need to be getting them sellers," which, you know, I don't disagree with, but, if there's nobody out there to buy these listings, you know,
Yeah.
so I've been trying to put it out there, you know, I'm working with these first time home buyers or these first time home buyers, these, you know, just consistently putting it out there like, look, there are still people buying houses.
Right.
But not really with the market so much. My videos will change when TikTok changes, right? I
Okay.
never used to do these informational videos. It was all humor, hashtag real estate humor.
Yeah.
But when they started, I mean, you can make a 10-minute video now on TikTok.
I
I wouldn't
didn't
recommend
know.
it.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody has that option yet.
Right.
Definitely 3 minutes. Definitely 3
Right, yeah,
minutes.
I knew about the 3 minutes, yeah.
But I have a 10-minute option now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that, but
Right.
they're very big on now SEO. They want to be YouTube, and
Keyword.
more people are going to TikTok. So,
Yeah.
like, think about recipes. I don't want to go to Google anymore. I don't want to read your family picnic story or whatever it takes to get to that dang recipe. You go
Mhm.
on TikTok and watch a 30-second video,
And you're done.
and you're
Yes.
done.
I use TikTok for recipes,
Mhm,
traveling, like when you're going to a different city instead of
mhm,
Google, like because a lot of times too, these blogs and stuff, they can't TikTok is so dynamic as far as the information. It's
mhm,
so fast changing that even if I look up the best restaurants and we were in California last year, I'll look it up San Diego.
mhm.
I'm gonna get maybe what the top ones were last year, right? But
Right.
now I can go on TikTok and not only find what people are saying is the best. It's kind of crowdsourced, right? Which is great.
Yeah.
But I'm also seeing like inside what it looks like.
Mhm,
And I've looked on there. I try to follow my habits as a consumer as well. So, and when my daughter graduates from high school, we want to move out of state. I have looked up the state we want to move to. I've looked up I basically know like what realtor I would hire out there, what community I want to live in, because I've done that, and I think
right.
it's that's a good point, right? Is follow what you do as a consumer.
Yes, always put yourself in the consumer's eyes. I do it all the time. My behavior and stuff. Yeah,
It's
that's a
it's
great point.
like
Yes.
so what do you find? Like, do you find that there's one type of content or one length of content or something like that that is performing really well on TikTok now, or is it a little bit like kind of what's the best tip?
Like what content? I honestly I think that depends on the person.
Right.
And what you're putting out there. For instance, I met a TikTok agent. I love calling them TikTok agents. Like um, he lives in Winston Salem, and he does amazing restaurant tours. That is, I mean, he does other things too, but for him,
Yeah.
that's what does well. So I went to lunch with him one day. I'm like, let me see what you do. And he just has his phone and he just goes around, takes random videos and then just edits it later, voiceover, blah, blah, blah. People recognized him at the restaurant. People
Oh my gosh,
recognized him
this is
from the
crazy.
restaurant. Yeah.
It's a random thing. Like to sometimes the most random thing you come up with ends up being, it's like you with the Tito's, like that just becomes your shtick. Now you're stuck.
Now I have to accept it. And I once in a while have to tell people that no, I'm not like constantly drinking. This is
Oh,
this is water.
oh my gosh. I love that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it really depends on the person, like like I said, for me, um, the educational ones in my car,
Right.
um, those do really well, as do my humorous ones. Do I do videos of restaurants when I go out? Yeah, but I'm just not very good at
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah. And sometimes I find, in line with showing your own personality, if I showed, I mean, I like restaurants, but like, let's say if I showed, different crafting stores around Charlotte,
mm,
because it did well for someone else, it wouldn't be interesting because I'm not interested in
right,
crafting. You know what I mean?
right.
So, but if I'm like, hey, here's where to find the best pizza, that's interesting to me. That's
There you
interesting
go.
to my audience or whatever. So
I mean, you're from New York. People
yeah,
want to hear what you've got to say.
they want to know where the pizza is here.
Yep.
And same thing, like if that guy's really a foodie and interested in what are all the restaurants,
Mhm.
it becomes something that's enjoyable for your audience, but it also doesn't become work for you because you're like, hey, I'll go check out a restaurant today. Like, let's go. I love it.
Yeah.
So I think that's super important for agents to remember. Like, I think a lot of times, myself included, we overthink it and we're like, let me see what Kim's doing. I don't know if I could be funny. I don't know if I could use alcohol, but
Mhm.
the real thing is just be you.
Yep. And I'll be honest with you. I find myself doing that.
Right.
There
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
like I said, well, Ramon from Winston-Salem, like, man, I wish I can do that. There's an agent on Instagram. I don't know if you've ever heard it. His name is Greg Goad. He's in Atlanta. He kills it on Instagram. I'm like, man, I wish I could do videos like that.
Yeah.
And I have to reel myself back in, like, wait a minute, that's not me though. That would look weird. That I wouldn't be able to do that.
It wouldn't be fun. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be fun to make the videos because
Right.
you just sit there and overthink. And
Mm-hmm.
one random question I have, and then I'm gonna go to the we have 19 questions coming.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, there may be some regular comments, but I see 19 comments in there.
Okay.
One other question, and I talk to a lot of agents on,
Mm-hmm.
on my side, and specifically women, but also men. What would you say to people who feel like insecure about the way they look, or like for me, I'm super self-conscious of my teeth. You know what I mean? Like, what would you say? People tell me I look old, I look this. What would be your best advice for kind of overcoming that?
It goes back to the statement that is such a cliche, but it's so true. We're our own worst critic. I can't stand the lines in my forehead. I can't stand my voice.
I love your voice.
So you just have to get over it. Nobody cares. You said you're insecure about your teeth. I don't know what you're talking about, but you got to comment about your shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So, did anybody say anything about your teeth in that video?
I know. And then when I watch it, I'm like, I need braces.
No, nobody. As long as you are providing something, whether it's educational or entertaining, preferably both in one, humorous, whatever, nobody's going to care. Nobody notices. And, if somebody does, call them out, do another video. I mean, you gotta, I know it's easier said than done. And it's hard for me to give advice on that because I never cared. I've always done video before TikTok even. I've done Facebook Lives and stuff. I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
So I know it's easier said than done, but just know that legit, nobody cares.
Yeah. Like no one's, again, looking at your consumer habits, like I've watched tons of people on video, tons of people. And, when I was trying to think like the people I follow the most, I've never really notice anything about, maybe someone's like really pretty, or maybe the guy's really good looking, or maybe like but like I've never really paid attention to their appearance. It's more about what are they telling me, what are they telling me to do? And these quote unquote influencers come in like every size, shape, ethnicity, whatever. But I was listening to a podcast recently, and it was about how to overcome self-doubt. So I do get self-conscious of my teeth, but it doesn't keep me from doing video. But sometimes what I struggle with is like imposter syndrome. So I'll see someone doing it at a high level, or something I want to do, or someone posting and everyone's commenting on theirs. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. They're doing something. Yes.
Yeah.
And this one podcast was talking about like ways to overcome that. And one of the things I really liked the most was that if you focus instead on the people you're going to help and the product you're going to deliver to them, it makes you want to do it even more, right? So of course we got into this to make money. We have to feed our families. But there's something I think in most realtors that really loves the process of someone finding their home, right? And all that means. So, that kind of helps you get over it a little bit, like whatever, I don't look like I'm 20 anymore. I'm freaking 41 years old, but if I focus on like, hey, this might help someone get their first house, or, all that, it becomes easier. And if that doesn't work, then use the logic, right? Okay. Average price point in Concord now is like 450, 500,000. Okay. Is this going to be the video that's going to make me, $15,000 commission? I think I'm okay with fixing my crooked teeth. I think
exactly.
So those are kind of like the different ways you could do it. And then I guess we'll just end. I mean, you've given a lot of great advice, but what would be kind of your number one tip for agents who are looking to get started on TikTok? I know that it's not too late. That's one thing.
No, it's definitely not too late.
What would be your
oh God, but I have so many of them. I'll run them through. First of all, if you're not on TikTok on a regular basis, like you use the word consume, I use this term all the time. You need to consume in order to create. I understand that, you have to start somewhere. You just have to do the dang thing, right? But TikTok is a whole other beast. I really do suggest that you get the feel for it if you're not on it all the time, get you on real estate side of TikTok, right? So you can see what others are doing, what works, what doesn't work, things like that. Don't for when you're doing educational videos or whatever, nobody cares what your name is.
Oh, yes.
By the time you say, hey, my name is Kim, they're gone. Okay. Always use a hook. Consume in order to create, use a hook to get people to watch your videos, hashtag it all day long, use location. If you're just getting started, you're going to want to post a couple times a day. I'm not, there were months where I did 3 times a day when I was doubling down on TikTok. I posted 3 times a day. It's not like Facebook. It's not, well, I'm sure Instagram Reels, you could probably do that too. I don't know, but you're not going to be annoying. It's going to get sent out to different people. No one's going to know that you posted 3 times a day.
Right. Unless you wore the same t-shirt all 3 times like I did.
I mean, yeah, I do. Well, I do that too.
Like, wrong t-shirt.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I love that. And just we're gonna go to the questions, but just to get started, if you want some like I think what helps me even on the Instagram side of things is looking what people are doing and not necessarily duplicating that,
Right.
but being inspired by go
Mhm.
check out, Kim today. Kim sells Concord. Look at all her videos, see kind of like get a feel for what she's doing that's working for her audience and follow her. And a lot of those things you can kind of duplicate for your audience. So really love that idea. Let me go through some of these right now. Ed, thank you. Yes, someone said so cool. Gurus don't know everything. I do what's best for me and my business. And that allows me to be my best self behind the camera. Yes.
Amen.
And then humor keeps them watching. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, someone said definitely can't allow this excuse of I don't have time. And I think that goes to being in your car. We've all been here in cars waiting for clients, right? And one thing I noticed again with stuff I consume, but also what performs well is people like they get really attracted to these casual videos where they feel like they're just chilling with you
Yep.
and they're just sitting across from you. You don't need this stage, you don't need this beautiful setup. Those are the random ones that do so well. So
absolutely. It takes no time. I spend more time scrolling on the app than I actually do film, like even some of the editing, the basic editing that I do, taking out my uhs and ahs. Sometimes I don't even do that, but the captions, things like that.
Yeah.
You add all that in and it takes no time. No time.
Someone said Kim is awesome and he's not in the Concord area because this guy literally just joined my group recently. So he said Kim is awesome. I've been watching her on TikTok. Great content.
Thank you.
Yes.
Who is I don't see anything.
Oh, I know, sorry. And someone said I'm on the business and cottage cheese recipe side of TikTok. You're gonna have to start watching a little bit more. Someone said can't stand the fan clubs. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I love it. So one quick thing. Stay right there because I know when I asked earlier last week when we first put that in there, someone did have like an actual question. This was people engaging with us. But let me pull it up.
Oh, I meant to go back and look at that post to see if there were any. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, you're good. So someone said, how many times a day do you post on TikTok? I know you talked a little bit about that, but
I mean, honestly, I don't post every day anymore. And I will still get, 100, 200 likes throughout the day just on my older videos. But if you're just starting out, I'll be honest, I would shoot for 3 times a day, man. 3 different types of videos at least once a day. You have to post at least once a day. In a perfect world, I would post 3. I would post an educational one. I would post a funny one. And then I would post maybe a video reply or a restaurant or just some statistics without even my face, something like that. Something different.
Can you schedule on TikTok? Can you schedule videos to go out? So if you kind of like batch record, can you schedule or maybe save them in your draft?
I don't think you can do it from within the app. That might be a third, like one of those third party things, but I do batch create like on days where I've got my makeup on and the creative juices are flowing. I will definitely, I won't even edit them. I just want to keep banging out videos and I put them in my drafts. And then when I'm ready, then I'll post them. Yeah.
And it's such a good feeling when you have like a busy day. Cause I know, if you get busy with the actual showings and all stuff, then it's hard to find the time or to find, like you said, that creative juice to post. Yes. But I love like when you just have the draft and you feel like, oh, thank God, just
yes, I got something. Hallelujah.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. And then last one. So she said, do you have this is Melissa Diaz. She said, do you have a formula for like repurposing? So I know you said you don't share everything to different platforms. Any sort of like formula or kind of roadmap you follow as far as what stays on TikTok and what goes elsewhere?
The ones where I'm talking about like past clients and things like that, I don't put them. Now, obviously, I know I can. I'm not disclosing names or addresses or anything like that. But I stay away from posting those or the like my 3-minute videos. I don't bother with that on Instagram or Facebook. That's only because I don't understand. I need a class in Instagram. But not really. Just as long as you, I mean, you have to remove the watermark.
Yeah.
But I don't really have. What was the
no, well, like so you don't have like a repurposing strategy. It's just kind of like you create content for TikTok. If it maybe works somewhere else,
then I'm gonna put it out there. Yeah. That's
with you on that. Like sometimes I'll put stuff on like my like real estate reels that doesn't really make sense for like my Facebook group or I'm sorry, Facebook page. Or sometimes I put stuff on my Facebook page that doesn't really make sense for my real estate page or my marketing page. I mean, so it makes sense. I would say repurpose as much as you can, right? But
absolutely, but know your audiences on each platform.
On each one, yes. And if you have to concentrate on one, like if you only want to get into TikTok now and you feel like that's really the only thing you can do, it's much more powerful to create a strategy for one platform than to try to create 3 strategies for 3 platforms because you're going to dilute the effect of it. So I love that. Okay. So we're going to end real quick, but I have a couple of like, what do you call it? Rapid fire questions. All right.
Oh, here we go.
You're going to tell me real fast. Okay. Talk or text?
Wait, what's that?
Talk or text?
Oh, text.
Okay.
Unless it needs to be a conversation.
Yes.
Text. Please text me.
Lockbox or Supra?
I'm still a Supra girl. But I have had a couple listings lately where I'm like, damn it. Now I see why people do combo boxes.
Exactly. Because Supras can be a pain. Like when your Bluetooth isn't.
See, I haven't had a problem with that, but I have like, for instance, one of them in China Grove, or when I have one in Salisbury, sometimes like the Triad MLS, or hell, sometimes appraisers. There are certain banks, their appraisers don't have a freaking super key. So things like that. Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
What is kind of, I know you said you're into like music and what was it? Music and what was the other
Sports,
thing?
football.
Oh, okay. So who are you rooting for this season?
Oh, I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, New York.
I mean, I'm originally from New Jersey, so
I have actually, he's an ex-family member. He's a family member of my ex.
Okay.
He's like their team. He's one of their team doctors. So he posts all these pictures on.
Oh, wow.
Really cool. I got to pretend I'm not super impressed though, because I got to play cool. But I was like, that is so cool. All right. So that's all for now. Well, tell us one more thing. What show are you watching on Netflix, TV? Are you watching shows?
Oh, I'm a weird I don't have anything right now.
Yeah.
But I do.
There's a writer's strike.
What's that?
There's a writer's strike. So there's
that too. Yeah. But I do. First of all, I still watch Survivor. Survivor's been around for like
God. I didn't even know that.
I still watch Survivor. New season starts next week. Holla. And I fall asleep to the Big Bang Theory every night.
Oh my gosh. I fall asleep to murder podcasts, so it could be worse.
No, I need something to just like something in the background, and I've seen every episode, so it just makes me
perfect. Well, seriously, thank you. You were the best first guest we ever could have
Happy to
had.
be your guinea pig.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Seriously, I appreciate it. This was really helpful, really insightful. And for all of you that are still watching, I still see there's a few of you. Go ahead, really go to TikTok, go follow her on Kim Sells Concord, engage with her, because the more you kind of engage with her content, the more you're going to see it. And it really is going to inspire you to new ideas. And then, hey, let's go make that money.
Let's go make that money.
Get it. All right. Thank you so much, girl. I
Take
really
care.
appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.